Hi everyone, welcome to Tarot Map. It's late and I think it's a perfect timing for reviewing the Fairytale Oracle by Kate Forsyth. So, Kate Forsyth's Fairytale Oracle. I've got some diffuser going on, and to me the smell of fairy tales always has to do something like with foresty scent. So I picked Siberian fir, I mixed it with cedar wood, with juniper berry. It actually smells really beautiful. And then I added a little drop of vetiver for grounding as well, and a tiny bit of orange. And it's very, very potent fairy tale forest-like scent. So I'm pretty excited about this one. Okay, anyway, this is a preview copy. It is published by Rockpool. And it's written by Kate Forsyth, and I think that's how you pronounce Forsyth, and it's illustrated by Merle Hunt. You know, I have been reviewing decks for Rockpool for a couple of years now, and it's like I love the cooperation because they always ask us what we want, etc. So I don't have to review decks that I don't want, you know. As I mentioned many times on my channel, I only review decks that I really like. So in the preview email which they sent us, I picked this deck because I just liked, you know, a couple of cards that I saw they sent, and I like anything with fairy tales, so I thought I'd check it out. And I have to say, and I even wrote Rockpool an email, that this is the best deck yet that they produced. I mean, they did produce the Seasons of the Witch, etc. But, oh my God, this is really good. So everything just is lush and beautiful. So this is how the box opens. We get this gorgeous red ribbon. The booklet, the cards that come up like this. The box looks lush with gold and red, and just it has this nice, I don't know if it's going to pick it, but it has this nice texture of the box. On the box it feels really nice, and the cards feel fairy-like, so I like the simple background. It's, you know, again, it's like feels like linen paper, but if I had to find one criticism, it could be a little bit more flexible. I don't know, it feels quite papery, so you have to be quite careful with the cards, but they shuffle great, they feel great in the hands, they etched, and the artwork is amazing. So there is, I think, 11 or I counted them, but now I can't remember, but a couple of fairy tales, like over 10, I think 11 or 12 fairy tales, and each fairy tale gets a couple of cards. So if I just showed you the fairy tales that you get, we get Rapunzel, Sleeping Beauty, Cinderella, so the most famous fairy tales everybody in the world knows, which kind of made me think, like, wow, you know, Brothers Grimm's fairy tales or Andersen's fairy tales, like the whole world knows these tales. They're so archetypal, so easily relatable to so many people. It's kind of fascinating, right? So Beauty and the Beast, Little Mermaid, Bluebird, Hansel and Gretel, Little Red Riding Hood, Wild Swans, Rumpelstiltskin, and Snow White. I didn't know Kate Forsyth. I saw that she's a published author, and also I didn't know the illustrator. I checked them out on Instagram. Like, I love the illustrations. Look how beautiful the book looks. You can't say anymore like little white book. It's a fully companion book, and I have to say, this is also a big part of why I think this deck is like one of the best Rockpool produced, because the book is equally as amazing as the cards. I don't want to, you know, discount or disadvantage all the previous decks that were produced by Rockpool, because I have a lot of their decks, and as I said, Seasons of the Witch, beautiful, and we sometimes just need those more easygoing oracles. But like, this feels like for adults, you know, like the text, it's not just the simplified, you know, do this, don't do this, or feel this, don't, like, it's for adults. You get a bit of research, you get a bit of history, you get a bit of adult-like treatment, you know. I love it, I love it. And at the same time, you do get your divination dose, you get a little bit of background to each fairy tale, and I really was moved by Kate's introduction and her story and how she got into tales. Like, I highly recommend getting this deck and checking it all out. So we get how to use the cards, deep study of a single fairy tale. You can work with fairy tales, you can work with this oracle deck as a divination deck, and so she writes about each of the tale, like an introduction, history of the tale. So here is just a tale that's kind of retold, the history of it, and then she goes into a couple of cards and kind of, you know, describes the tale from different angles and works with the tale in more like the psychological way, and magical way, and gives you the dark phase of the tale, bright phase of the tale, and this meaning which is more like a divinatory meaning. And you also get just different aspects and different archetypes of the tale woven into the description. So from Rapunzel, for example, we have a stolen herb, which is desire, beautiful imagery. Then we have the tower, which is liberation. So you get all these different archetypes. A ladder of hair, which is spiritual ascension, and healing tears, cathartic release. And then we go to the next tale. I have used this deck a couple of times. It's a fairly new deck, but I've used it a couple of times, and you can use it in a couple of different ways, which is cool. So yeah, you can work with the tales, and, you know, pull, for example, all the cards from the Little Mermaid, and then pull some tarot cards into addition to the oracle cards. You can work with the booklet, you can go deeper. You can use this deck as a regular divination deck, so you can just shuffle it and, you know, pull one card, and just depends how much time you have, what do you want to do. You can read about the Snow White fairy tale, you can just get the little divinatory meaning of the card for, you know, before you go to work. You can think about it, you can go intuitively via the image. The illustrations are really beautiful. So I love this. I'm like really grateful that this deck arrived. And it's beautiful, and I love the texture of the linen. I think it just fits. The cards feel magical. So yeah, bluebird, it's, I mean, bluebeard, how do we call it? Bluebeard, yeah. It's so good. If you enjoyed like Clarissa Pinkola Estes, you know, Women Who Run with the Wolves, she goes deeply into different fairy tales in there. You can find a lot of work with fairy tales from Jung, from Marie von Franz, and there's so many people, but I'm just glad that in the booklet Kate gives a lot of names, she suggests some, you know, authors, she suggests some history, how the fairy tales changed over time. I love these images, so good, so good. So I'm going to show you all the cards. If you do not want to see all of them and you want to get some surprise, you know what to do, just fast forward or skip bits of the video. It's good. And I love when everything just comes together, you know, production of the deck, like Rockpool did really a great job with this, how the cards feel in your hands, the companion book, it all just looks lush, it feels lush, the artwork is beautiful, there's no frames, I love the little, like everything fits, it's beautiful design, beautiful coloring, imagery, like it's soulful, it's very kind of magical. Each card feels like, you know, a tale you want to go in and engage with. The faces are beautiful, but they're not generic and they're not like the same, you know, like we used to seeing on some other oracle decks. Oh, how cool is this Bluebeard? It could be a devil card, right? Or death card, I like it. It's really great. I really like it. And I'm excited to work with it more, and I'm so happy that I know all the fairy tales. You know how sometimes you get decks and like even the Fairytale Oracle with like by Lucy Cavendish, like half of the tales I didn't recognize, I didn't know. So, you know, I had to read about it, and some I related to, some I didn't. These ones, I think that like the ones she picked are very, very universal and mostly known. So it's very cool. I love the art. It's so beautiful. Just for this type of oracle, this is perfect artwork in my opinion, because it's intuitive, it's kind of storytelling like, lush, rich, relatable, you know. I think a lot of people will relate to this artwork. So let me just like pull a card and then we can see how the booklet reads. So what do we need to know? What myth, what fairy tale, what aspect of a fairy tale is coming to speak to us? Oh, Snow White, magic mirror, self-reflection. So, foxgloves, crows, Snow White. 42. And it is 44 cards, I think. Yeah, 44 cards. So 42. Self-reflection. So dark phase is everyone is prone to occasional narcissism. Bright phase, look within to know yourself. The Queen's magic mirror that always speaks the truth is one of the most striking motifs in Snow White. She only ever asks the mirror one question: mirror, mirror on the wall, who is the fairest one of all? Although the wicked Queen's obsession with her looks is clearly a symptom of egotism, it is also concerned with power and agency. In the male-dominated society of the past, a woman's value was centered in her beauty, so the Queen's loss of the title of the fairest one of all is a threat to her ego and power. I think it's also, you know, a tale of aging from the perspective of the Queen. The magic mirror has the ability to see and tell the truth. Mirrors have long been seen as having shamanistic powers used by seers and prophets to scry the past or future or connect with gods and spirits. They are also a dynamic tool for self-discovery and self-reflection, as they allow you to not only see yourself but also parts of you that are usually unseen. Mirrors are the threshold between your conscious and unconscious minds, a place where you might see your shadow self. The story of Snow White is driven by powerful malignant emotions, vanity, jealousy, and spite that are usually kept concealed. So here we go, this meaning, if you just want, a quick divinatory meaning before you go off to work. Drawing magic mirror invites you to enter a state of self-reflection. Ask yourself what dark, difficult emotions you are keeping repressed and what they reveal about your past and your now. Think about how you are being held back or restrained by old patterns or behavior or social norms. Ask yourself how you could break free of those constraints and move towards your best self. And each card of, let's say, the story of the Snow White deals with some other motive of the fairy tale or some other angle of it. So, wow, I'm really impressed. I'm going to figure out more about the author. I loved her story in the beginning. It was quite traumatic, and it's funny that I have had a similar story myself. Not as traumatic as Kate's, but also it was involving a dog and being bitten by a dog. So yeah, I don't know, I resonate with this whole project. I think it's beautiful and well deserving of wows. And it's coming out soon, guys. It's going to be mass available, mass produced, mass available on Amazon, etc. So I think most of people can get this deck. I highly recommend it. Thank you for watching. Thank you, Rockpool, for sending the deck. Let me know, guys, what you think. Do you like it? What struck you the most? Are you interested? You don't like it? Let me know all your opinions in the comments. Give me a like, subscribe to my channel if you don't yet, and I hope you enjoyed this review. Bye.